gentlemen, dear chairman, colleagues, researchers, friends. I am Luis Diego Monsalve, Ambassador of Colombia to the People's Republic of China. I want to express my gratitude to the Taihe Institute for inviting me to be part of the Civilization Forum to share my thoughts and my country's experiences on different issues of global importance, such as the development and impact of the new technologies, scientific diplomacy, and climate change. As the development of new technologies take a more relevant role in the world, Colombia has been on the build-out of its national policy for digital transformation since 2018. Our policies aim to enhance social and economic value through digital technologies in both private and public sector, to drive productivity, sustainable growth, and bring benefits to our people. We have set forward 3 specific national objectives towards this endeavor. First will be to decrease the barriers hindering the inclusion of digital technologies such as culture and awareness, adjustment of regulations, and strengthen the performance of digital governance and business. Second is to create better conditions for innovation through international alliances, to connect ecosystems, design funding programs to stimulate entrepreneurship, development of information technology, procurement systems, and public services provision. Lastly, we are strengthening the capacities of our human capital from the early stages of education, prioritizing new technologies with emphasis on STEM plus art disciplines to maximize the output of present and future scientific, industrial, and academic communities. One major example of the advancements made by my country in this sector would be the city of Medellin, my hometown, which has been appointed as the sole Latin American regional center for the 4th Industrial Revolution, affiliated to the World Economic Forum. Medellin is working proactively with prioritized technologies such as data science, blockchain, AI, and IoT to earn its credentials as a smart city, and the center entails the city to undertake 4 larger pursuits. First, boost the transition in Latin America towards an economy based in data to improve competitiveness and become a relevant global player. Second, to promote the digital transformation and the implementation of emerging technologies to enhance productivity levels in SMEs. Third, position Colombia as a reference nation in agriculture 4.0, using data in crops and supply chains, aiming to a sustainable and clean development in the region. Finally, lead the development and implementation of ethical and regulatory frameworks for the responsible use of new technologies. Additionally, our National Development Plan aims to build a society based on knowledge by 2030, a society in which science and technology are tools for solving the country's problems in a joint effort between the state, the private sector, the scientific community, and the public. National investment in science, technology, and innovation went from 0.67% to 1.5% in GDP during last year, which has shown a transformation of the country's development model, where Colombian society increasingly engages in an ever more digital and inclusive economy. Thanks to this development, Colombia's profile as a country that is preparing for a modern and digitalized world can find plenty of synergies for cooperation with China, as it is a country with innovation acting as its core principle for economic and social development. We are also aware of China's progress towards becoming an AI powerhouse by 2030, and the country's plan to become the global tech and science leader by 2050. And so, we are looking forward to work hand in hand in policy and good practices exchange for data science, data governance, and data diversification, digital economy, machine learning, and IoT applied to rural and urban development. We also welcome AI technology, knowledge transfer through investment in our manufacturing and other productive sectors, and of course, to enhance our sustainable and green development for the protection of ours and future generations' well-being. Allow me then to talk about the work Colombia is doing in climate change, a topic so close to the purpose of this forum's objective, as it is fundamental for the harmonious development of common values and the advancement of human civilization. Climate action is a priority for Colombia, As we know, 2020 was one of the warmest years on record, yet the NDC's adaptation, mitigation, and multiple finance report show that much more work is necessary to keep 1.5 degrees within reach. Colombia is highly vulnerable to the effects of climate change, and in December 2020, we communicated our updated and enhanced NDC. And under the Paris Agreement, we committed to a 51% greenhouse gas emission reduction for 2030 and included a goal for black carbon. This is a technically solid decision that aims for the maximum ambition, but also for feasible goals that put us on the right path to achieve carbon neutrality in 2050. These commitments will require an enormous effort related to means of implementation, both financially, in capacity building, and technology. In a time where Colombia has been hardly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic and the economic consequences that came with it. We are consolidating our work in areas where technology has a notable impact, such as conservation of the environment, energy transition, electric mobility, nature-based solutions, sustainable agriculture, among others, and we believe that we need to accelerate and streamline works towards COP26 in Glasgow and of course COP15 in Kunming. We aim for substantial outcomes in both these meetings, and we assign the highest importance to issues like transparency, adaptation, loss and damages, climate finance, and the adoption of an ambitious global framework for biodiversity protection and conservation. In terms of our bilateral ties with China, and considering that both countries are among the most biodiverse in the world, it is our interest to explore working on an agenda that goes beyond this year's COP meetings. We have the intention to work hand in hand to position the vision of developing countries on the planet during negotiations of the global framework for biodiversity and climate change. And we also believe that the mobilization of financial resources is an issue of common interest that could be strengthened with other developing countries. Technology, climate change, and economics are intricately related and are inseparable in the balance that need to be achieved sooner than later for innovation and clean means of production that to guarantee this and future generations a sustainable way of life. We live in an era of great opportunity, but also great challenges. While we explore the advantages of the new industries, we should consider its effects in the pursuit of equality, the capacity to adapt our societies around them, and the role of the government as both user and regulator of technologies. While I thank the organizing committee of TFC, I would like to wish the forum a great success and fruitful discussions. Thank you very much. 谢谢。